Hi guys, and welcome back to another episode of Rebuilding Stockport, the analysis days. Now, this video might not be anywhere near as long as the usual analysis days videos because my voice normally goes when we do those videos, and that's when I'm in perfect health. Right now, I'm struggling to speak for more than about 5 or 10 minutes without my voice completely disappearing. So yeah, I'm going to try and be a bit more fast-paced and not dwelling on stuff for too long, so I apologise for that. It's just one of those things. I nearly didn't even do this video, but I did want to have a look at some of the stuff, because a lot of the things I want to do for next year, I kind of already know. It's more going to be an interesting look at these stats, because if I think for next year, I just want to strengthen what we already have, because I genuinely think that we can go up next year not doing anything different to what we're doing this year. That's my theory anyway, but we'll see. Anyway, so penalties taken, Leicester dominating. Headers won. They're down in the middle. And I think possibly Ethan O'Kane playing might have something to do with that, you know. Headers won ratio, 60%. It's mid-table. It's fine. That's where we kind of finished, you know. Yellow cards, although that's something I do want to look at next year. Maybe not getting quite as many yellow cards if we could avoid it. Red cards, still, could do with a few less of those as well, in all honesty. The form is totally irrelevant to us right now. Goals. Oh my God, we actually nearly got 100 goals in the league this year. I genuinely didn't know that. I thought my target next year was going to be to like win the league by miles if we can anyway, or at least get an automatics promotion spot. That's my plan. Automatic promotion is my aim, which means inevitably we'll get relegated, because usually the exact opposite of what I think is going to happen happens. But we've got 99 goals this season, which is pretty damn good. Cross completion, we're up there. That's what I like to see. Crosses completed, 310. We didn't dominate, but we did the job. Third most goals from corners. We've done right this year. 13 goals from corners again. That's nice to see us coming back up there. Goals from direct free kicks. We scored 6 of those. I think almost every single one, except for one for Booty, has been from Callum Gribben. Indirect free kicks, yeah, we're still struggling on that one, unfortunately. Pass completion, mid-table. I think next year we'll probably be slightly higher on that one. Passes completed again, it's mid-table. Oh, there we go. Chances created. 122 chances created. Just undeniably excellent. Shots on target, that pleases me. Shots on target in total, again, massive. Conversion rate, 12%, is right towards the top of the league. If we can just be a little bit more defensively sound next year, I can see a lot of games that went against us this season going completely in our favour. Fouls against, oh dear, right down towards the bottom. Interesting. Dribbles per game, we're right up there with 8. We are so far up there. That's what I like to see, because we've got so many good dribblers. Conceding, yeah. So we conceded 90 goals this year. 90 goals we conceded in the league and did not go down. Then again, Ipswich conceded 89 goals. And they were alright as well. So that's kind of interesting. Conceded from corners. Yeah, we conceded 12 times from corners this year. We're going to have to work at defending set pieces again. I think that's something to look at. Indirect free kicks. Yeah, 6 of those too. This is another thing though. You could look at this and go, well, 12 goals there. 6 goals there. That's 18 goals just right there. Indirect free kicks. That's another 7 goals. That's 25 goals we've conceded specifically from set piece situations. What penalties conceded? Only one of those. So 26 of those 90 goals have been from these situations. If we could just cut out that, be better at defending set pieces, we could probably improve ourselves just in that one level. Those 26 goals not conceded, if you think about it, if we were to just, even if we got that down to like 10, that would put an extra 15 in our goal difference. And I think that right there would probably make us a top playoff contender just based around that alone. So there's a lot of things we could do very easily that I think can make us a lot better. Average attendance, second lowest of 10,100, but you know, by capacity, 96%. Stadium sellouts, wait, how did we have no sellouts? Right, we've got to look at this. Our stadium holds 10,300, doesn't it? Why is it showing the squad? I want the club. Oh my God, I need to sort that out. So our stadium, where's the stadium? Edgeley Park. Capacity, 10,300. Attendance, 10,300. Is that... I don't get it. I'm a little bit... Oh. Capacity 10,500, but then it says... Is that because there's some standing or something? Or is it just a weird glitch? That's a bit annoying. Because otherwise we'd have probably sold out our attendances quite a lot there. But there you go. Highest attendance for us was 10,300, obviously. Lowest attendance... Yeah, lowest is 9,000. It's not bad, though. We're basically selling out every single week. I feel like when we get to the Prem, we're going to have to look at... we don't even own our stadium. I might look at the board, maybe potentially building us a new one. And that'd be awesome, because then you guys would get to help choose the name for it, which is always fun. Net transfer spend. Our net spend this year was 22 grand. It ain't bad, is it? Norwich spent 11 million in total, but you're going to be loving when you see Fulham's outward that they made 38 million pounds, and in fact at one point they actually sold I think like 70 something million pounds worth of players. And now look at the salary per annum. This is where things get ridiculous. We're spending 2.74 million pounds per annum. I mean, even the teams in like 20th for that are spending 4 times what we're spending. And you look at the top, Bournemouth, 46 million pounds. There's teams here spending 10, 15, 20 times our money and not achieving anything like what we're achieving. Now, obviously, ours is going to go up a bit, but next year we will still be the lowest earning team in this division, I think, unless someone comes up before that's got even worse than us. Anyway, let's move on to the players. Player detail. You're going to hear me taking swigs of my drink? I'm going to have to, otherwise I will literally die. I'm not even joking. I will drop dead. So... games lost, yellow cards. Okay, we're definitely going to have a few on here. Nerfville 11, O'Kane 10, Bridges 8, Tutu 8, Basic 8. Notice John Gray not on here. And he's played a lot too, so that does say something about his ability to actually play. Remember, we did most of this without John Gray as well. And I think with John Gray in the team, we probably could have done even better. And without Liam Miller at places, you know, with a full strength side, you never know. Red cards. Yeah, we've had a couple of those. Tutu had one because that stupid red he got. Player of the Match awards. Okoro was 6. Regan Booty also got 4. That's very worth noting. Different distance cover per... yeah, Sammy Shash doing well. And Nerfville, of course, up there too. Average rating, Okoro. Now, that's interesting. Regan Booty, just off the radar there in 4th place. But that is sensational. What a season from Regan Booty. Seriously, what a lad. Headers 1. Yeah, we weren't going to be on that one, were we? Goals, top scorer, Adam Ida with 22, Liam Miller with 18. But look, John Okoro down in joint 6th with 16 goals. We had 3 players that got into double figures, but not only that, got more than 15 goals between them. They alone scored 56 goals, the 3 of them. That is bloody brilliant. Goals per minute, of course. Ida definitely doing the duty on that one. Okoro, not too bad. Miller, Okoro actually, I think it's because he's played a little bit more in terms of the others, yeah. Although Miller scored more goals. Shots. Ida and Miller having virtually the same number of shots. God, Bwaga's got a lot of shots for Bournemouth. That is not a good conversion ratio. Shots on target. Miller and Ida, those two, their percentages must be fantastic. Liam Miller, 65. Ida, 62. John Okoro, 56. But we've got strikers that are averaging over 60% shots on target, and that is phenomenal. Miller and Ida, if they just keep doing that next year, I see no reason why we can't do brilliantly. Oh, that's the shots on target percentage. The conversion rate, Ida 21, Okoro 20. Miller has a few more shots, I'm guessing. Team goals, obviously Malden was on the pitch for 99 of the goals. Penalties, 5 out of 5. Nobody on there at all, actually. Assists, John Okoro with 13, which is not bad. Top in the league for assists, very good. Regan Booty, 70 key passes this year. John Okoro, 56. Davidson, 40. Nerfville, 40. Chances created, 25 chances created for John Okoro. So basically every other chance he creates is a goal. Nerfville in there too. Miller, even Booty down towards the bottom. Pass completion, yeah, I thought we'd struggle for that one. Sam Field and Seri and those sort of teams, I guess, are doing better there. Regan Booty always does well on the crosses completed, but like for me, that's, I guess, because of free kicks and stuff. I don't know. Dribbles per game. Strange to see no players on there at all, actually. I thought we'd have that, but hey, I guess not. Offsides? Oh, wow. Oh my God, look how much he's been offside. We're not going to be on the defending one, are we? Tackles per game? Yeah, not on there too. Mistakes leading to goals. Basic has already made 3 mistakes leading to goals this year. That worries me a bit when you consider he's probably played less than O'Kane and Gray. So, yeah. Mistakes overall? Nerfville with 69. That's the sex number. Good shit. Key tackles. I'm a child, I know. John Gray. Okay, so there you go. There's more evidence that John Gray is an absolute master, and I think he and O'Kane is probably the key partnership here. Key headers, none at all. Okay, interceptions, none at all. Headers 1 ratio, John Gray again, 80%. Is that good or bad? Look at this. Miles Beeson, 92% of his headers 1. Is he a centre-back? He's a bloody right-back. Okay. It's interesting. Weirdly, lots of these guys are fullbacks. Instead of where I would have figured they would have been. That's interesting, actually. Anyway, moving down. Shots blocked. Is that really that relevant? Goals conceded. Obviously, no one going to be anywhere near that one for us. Clean sheets. yeah, I don't know how many clean sheets we got this year, but it wasn't enough to be in the top 20. So there's that. Saves held. Molden has held a lot of saves, to be fair to him. And, of course, saves parried down there too. Right, now what we're actually looking for is the team comparison stuff. Okay, so I've skipped goalkeepers because literally Molden is the only goalkeeper that's played. I think Ian Murphy might have made one appearance in a cup or something, but nothing major. Anyway, so centre-backs. Main ones to look for, O'Kane, Gray, Basic. I mean, Regan Paul and Cameron John, of course, too. But what I'm really looking at is the difference between these three to see who's performed the best of these guys. So, passes completed. O'Kane, 77%. Basic, 75%. And John Gray, actually the lowest on that one, too. So, Ethan O'Kane is definitely good when he's got the ball at his feet. And that's fine, but we need a little bit more from him than that one, you know? Passes completed per 90 minutes. Basic tops that one. O'Kane and Gray kind of at a similar level. Team goals per 90 minutes. So this would be a fun one to see who actually does the best on that one. Basic is definitely the worst. O'Kane and then John Gray. No huge surprises there. Key passes per 90 minutes. Not really what we need from our centre-backs. But Basic actually does play a fair amount. Right. Team conceded per 90 minutes. We concede more with... Oh, no, hang on. So, right. We score more with Basic in the team. And we do concede a few less. But John Gray is just the sort of the key number here. Tackles 1 ratio. Gray and Basic up there. O'Kane slagging a little bit behind on that one too on his tackles 1. Interceptions, again, Basic wins a lot of interceptions, a lot more than Ethan O'Kane as well. He also wins a lot more of his headers too than Ethan O'Kane. I'm actually starting to wonder if perhaps Basic is the one. Thing is, right, a lot of people said maybe retrain Ethan O'Kane to play in defensive midfield. Not sure what exactly he would be good for that, but he does have... I mean, he's got great heading, he's just very short. He's got good marking, his passing is decent, good teamwork, fantastic work rate. Maybe we could retrain this guy as a defensive midfielder and see what he can do. The thing is, we don't use defensive midfielders though, so I feel like it'd be a total waste of his talent, and I kind of just want to keep him around doing what he does and see if we... You know, I had a guy, I can't remember what his name was, on, I think it was Portsmouth. He was really short, but he was an absolutely world-class centre-back, just because... yeah, I don't know. That's my thoughts on that, basically. I'd like to maybe bring in some youngsters in these positions, but I genuinely feel like, from a centre-back point of view, we're pretty much set with Gray, Basic and O'Kane. They're all comfortably capable of starting games for us. We've got the likes of Regan Poole available, and, you know, other players that could definitely play in there. Cameron John's another one. So I'm actually quite content with what we've got in that position, and I don't think we really need to do a lot. Sure, if I see anyone who's amazing, then I'll try and pick them up, but I'm not going to push the boat out in this position. Anyway, fullbacks. So, fullbacks. So, we're mainly looking here at Nerfield, Tutu, Bridges. Wow, did Bakari not play as much as I thought he did? Josh Doherty's out on loan, so we'll get rid of... Well, we'll ignore Josh Doherty for now. So, assists. Well, overall assists isn't that relevant. It's assists per 90 minutes. Bakari did get 3 assists in his time, which is vastly more than anyone else, frankly. Bridges got the same number of assists as Osei Tutu, but he did do it with less game time, so he still performed better than Osei Tutu. And... that says a lot about Bruno Bridges for me. He's still only 22, but like he doesn't quite have the potential that he used to anymore, which is a real shame. But I still want to keep him around the club, and he's got another 2 years left on his contract. I don't know if we've got any extensions. No, we don't. No, obviously his potential was cut short. I have some theories as to why that is outside of the obviously coaching thing when he turned 22 as well, but more on that next season perhaps. So yeah, chances created per 90 minutes. Josh Doherty up there. Vashon Nerfield does well. And Bakari does well again. Tutu does just slightly outdo Bruno Bridges in that one. So there is that. But it's so negligible that you'd take the assists over the chances created. Pass completion again between these two is basically identical. Nerfield is slightly worse on that one than Bakari. But Bakari's done all right, to be honest. Like, he had a poor few games when he first started with the club, but he's done okay since then. Passes completed. It's more about the key passes. Vashon Nerfield, again, winning that one. Tutu, again, only vaguely slightly better than Bruno Bridges, frankly. It is so tight on that one. Like, if you had to choose between them at this point, it would be a toss-up. Other than the fact that Bruno Bridges slightly outweighs on the assist one, and even that's pretty negligible as well. Dribbles per game, right. Bruno Bridges, definitely the best dribbler. Miles better, in fact, than Osei Tutu, which is very, very surprising. When you consider that Tutu's got 10 dribbling and Bruno Bridges has only got 5, and yet he is just capable of getting into good positions and dribbling with the ball. So Bruno Bridges is massively winning that one. At the moment, he would be my first choice again for next season, in all honesty. Nerfield vastly outweighs Bakari too. So Bruno Bridges and Nerfield looking like the key men here. Crosses completed as well. Bruno Bridges, 17% completion compared to Osei Tutu, and Nerf feels slightly better. But again, Bruno Bridges is outperforming Osei Tutu. And that really says something about him. Like, he might not have the best star ratings and stuff, or the best stats, but for whatever reason or another, he does well when he's in the team, and we do well when he's in the team with us. It's just a strange situation. How about defensively? Team conceded per 90 minutes. It's dead even. Like, completely dead heat on that one. Tackles won, 86% to 87%. Both very, very good. Nerfil and Enquiries, again, both very, very good. Headers won. Bruno Bridges vastly better in the air than Osei Tutu as well. So he's reasonably good in the tackle, but he's much, much better in the air as well. He's won the most key headers of any player in this set, despite being probably playing the least minutes of those ones particularly. Average rating as well. Like, he's better than Enquiries, better than Osei Tutu. He's the second best player. Maybe there is a reason why we should perhaps start with him as our first choice right back next year. Although I am possibly going to, that might be one position that I really do look to try and expand and try to bring in like a 3 or 4 star player in that role. If I can find one, I will bring one in. Do not worry about that. Okay, so centre mids. We'll try to get through this fairly fast. Most minutes period. So Davison and Booty, kings of that. Magoma's made a reasonable amount. John Hume's made a handful of games, and Stephen Lafferty's had 4 starts this year as well. Mostly from cup games, though, I'm guessing. So take that into what you will. Goals scored per 90 minutes. Booty's got 9 goals this year. Magoma 2, Andy Davidson 2. I feel like Davidson definitely has improved since he moved slightly higher up the pitch. It's probably not helped us defensively, but I think it's helped Davidson play better. I think his performances in the second half of the year have definitely vastly improved on his first half of the year performances. Now, it's hard for us to see that, although maybe we could check in form, perhaps? I don't know. No, we probably could, actually. Let's just check in form. Does that not show? Oh, it'll only show the last 20 matches. That's a shame. But you can see there's a lot of 7s in but that's a bit pointless really for us to even show that, isn't it? But yeah, so where was I? Right, yeah, so Andy Davidson, 2 goals. It's not too bad. Assists per 90 minutes, though, it's definitely good. 7 assists this year, 5 for Booty, 2 for Paris Magoma. But you can see that Magoma is definitely being outclassed in all of the positions. Like, when Booty plays... I mean, Booty's got 9 goals this year playing as a box-to-box mid. I mean, that's saying something. And he's assisting a lot more as well. Not a lot more, but definitely more. He's completing more passes. Like, Booty and Boozy is definitely my first-choice centre midfield partnership for us at the moment. And I see no reason why I really want to change that for next year. And to be honest, with the likes of Hume and Lafferty as options behind that with Magoma, I'm not too bothered about adding more players there too. If we find someone fantastic, again, I will look to bring them in. But I think we've got decent depth in this position currently. Chances created per 90 minutes. Regan Booty, 31. Davison, very, very low, actually. But that's because most of the time it's Booty getting the ball and spreading it out wide. Crosses completed, totally irrelevant. Passes completed per 90 minutes. Davidson does have a vast advantage over everyone else when he plays in that role, that is for sure. And key passes, wow, I mean, look at this. Regan Booty, an average of 2 key passes per game. Magoma actually outdoes Davidson, but again, they've generally played... Davidson's pretty much the only player that's played in that role this year. And you can see just how much better those guys have been than their counterparts. It's as simple as that. Key tackles, though. John Hume, of course, playing a more defensive role when he's in the team. It's good that he's won every single tackle in those entire... that's not bad, actually. 2 full starts and 10 substitute appearances, and he's won every single tackle. Davidson, as well, has done very, very well in the tackle. Magoma, not too bad either. Lafferty's been the one that's sort of struggled with that, but maybe the sample size just isn't large enough. As for interceptions, Andy Davidson, again, he's doing everything. He's deep line playmaker, but he's doing so much of the defensive work too, and it is fantastic to see. Hume not so good on the interceptions. Magoma much better than Regan Booty on the interceptions. Booty obviously doesn't have the anticipation stat. I don't know, actually. Headers won again. It's very much Magoma, and again Andy Davison doing his business. Booty a lot lower down, but Hume, nice to see him up there again. Headers won. Andy Davidson yet again 77. Hume 76. Magoma 76. Yeah, Booty slightly further down. Lafferty does seem to be a little bit off of this though. What I would say is that Hume doesn't have the best output, but he's done okay when he's in the team, and he seems to be able to match the guys, particularly on the defensive side of the midfield stuff. Hume definitely is the sort of player that I feel like you could bring in when you're already winning a game and you want to see it out, and it will just give you a bit more compactness in that midfield. He can still offer a bit going forward, but it will definitely shore you up in the centre, essentially. That's certainly what that would appear to suggest. We concede more goals with Hume in the team. We can see the least goals with Stephen Lafferty, but that could be because of the cup stuff, so take that with a pinch of salt if you will. Average ratings overall, Booty dominant. Davison definitely above 7, which is important there. Magoma does okay. Hume's actually got the worst one, which surprises me a bit, but I think there's more to come from John Hume in the future, and I'm prepared to give him a chance. Again, if I see anyone that's sort of in between, like I feel like we could do with a couple of players that are sort of in between that kind of level, around that level with good potential, that are maybe sort of in their 20s, to maybe give us a little bit of a boost there. But again, it's not a position I'm too bothered about for now. Anyway, attacking mids. Now, when it comes to attacking mids, it's basically just a straight-up battle between Shash and Gribbin. And this is going to be interesting, because they're both of reasonable ability and potential. So we'll see who's done best and why. Now, Gribbin, of course, has played deeper a few times. So has Shashua, though, I think. So it can't take too much into that. Gribbin definitely with more goals per 90 minutes, with 8 goals in 21 games. Shashua has 7 goals, though. So the key thing is, though, the attacking midfield role is generating goals. That's 15 goals that we've scored from that role. What I would say, though, is Shashua is definitely more creative for other people. 6 assists and 7 goals. So he's contributed to 13 goals for us this year, whereas Callum Gribbin's only contributed to 10. So Shashua's definitely done a good job in that role. He's less prolific in front of goal himself, but he's definitely got an assist in him. And the thing is, Callum Gribbin, a lot of those goals would have been from free kicks, whereas Shashua doesn't take free kicks. So you could argue that, in fact, Shashua has probably been the better player of the two. And it does make you wonder, how long has he got left on his contract at Spurs? His contract expires in 2 months. I wonder if we make an offer right now of 0, whether they'd accept it. Let's just see. They want £45,000 for Samuel Shashua. Honestly, I feel like we could get even cheaper than that. Let me just remove this and exclude from negotiations. Sorry, I don't really want to be doing this right now, but I want to see if we can get him for 26k. How about that? Okay, 60k. 55k? How about 55k? There we go. Honestly, I think if we could get Samuel Shashua for £55,000, I would pick him up any day of the week, because I think he'd be a really good like a permanent signing, because we know he fits the way we play. So it's not a risk for me bringing him in. If we can actually bring him in for that amount, hopefully he won't want super loads on wages. He's on 2,300 at Spurs right now, but I could always knock that down with an international wage clause. We'll see. That might be something to look at in future, though. So yeah, Samuel Shashua. Pass completion, it's very much even with these two. Key passes per 90 minutes. Gribbin is slightly more above him on that one, but Shashua is winning more in the air. He hits the target more with his shots, but he does have less shots overall. Dribbles per game, they are dead even. I think there's a lot to come from Samuel Shashua, and if we were to pick him up on a free, or not even a free, but for like 50 grand, I would see that as a very, very sensible piece of business. To get a player that has 4-star ability and 5-star potential in the Championship for 50 grand, you can't not do that, really. You kind of have to. So let's go to the wide players. Okay, so wide players this year. We've got Ennis, Agumbi, Okoro, Miller and Shodipo, although Shodipo hasn't played any games, so he's kind of irrelevant to this. Agumbi's not played a huge amount, but he's done okay when he has played, to be fair to him. So we'll have a look. Goals per 90 minutes. Agumbi actually with the most, but that was 2 goals in 1 game that he played for us, so I don't know how much we can read into that. Ennis has actually got a tiny bit better goals to games ratio than Liam Miller of 0.49. That is very, very interesting to me, because it does appear that we basically have a ready-made replacement in that position. We are so strong on the left wing. Like, absolutely dynamite in that position. Miller is fantastic, but Ennis is not that far behind him in terms of development, and they've both got decent potential. So that, to me, is really, really nice to see, and I think we're basically set in that left wing position for the next couple of years. They're both 23 as well, so they can fight it out as far as I'm concerned. Okoro with less on that one, but he still did net 16 goals in 42 games this year, so I can hardly sniff at that when he's played on the right-hand side as a winger as well, not an inside forward. And what he's really excelled with is his assists, although again, Agumbi does have slightly more. But again, Niall Ennis is the man up there with 5 assists in that period of time as well. 7 goals and 5 assists is bloody fantastic. Now, Ennis has played up top at times for us, so there is that. Not a lot, I don't think. In fact, we can check that ourselves just by looking at him on, I believe it's the tactics one. I think we can see this. So yeah, he played 7 times as a striker for us. For some reason, we don't know the average ratings. I always find that really weird that it doesn't display that, but there you go. So the left-hand side, to me, is as good as set with those two. On the right, Okoro, he does well for assists. chances created is definitely better than a Gumby in that sense. Look at the number of crosses attempted. He's got a 19% cross completion as well. Ennis is much, much worse than Liam Miller on his cross completion, though. So what I would say is that Ennis is not going to provide anywhere near as many goals for John Okoro as Liam Miller does. But John Okoro, 19% cross completion is bloody phenomenal. It's truly insane. He also has the best pass completion as well at 76. Miller and Ennis very much close on that one as well. Key passes per 90 minutes. Okoro winning that one too. Ennis slightly more than Miller, so maybe he's preferring to link up the play on the middle rather than playing the long range pass. Okoro, nice to where I like to see it. 57%. Miller does hit the target more often though, so that is very nice to see as well. Dribbles per game. Okoro still only 1.18 despite that. Is his dribbling not amazing? 13 dribbling. You think he'd do a bit more of that really? Considering he's got, reasonable pace and acceleration and the like, but maybe he'll improve with time. Thing is, the guy's still only 18 and he's already 3.5 stars in this team, so there's a long way to go for John Okoro. I could see him being a 4-star player in this team by the end of next year, as we hopefully will be stepping towards the Premier League at that point. So what I'm seeing here is that left side we are set. The right hand side we very much do need a backup to John Okoro, a youngster with high potential that can probably play there and do a decent job, because a Gumby's fine, but we're not going to have a Gumby next year, are we? And I don't know if I'd really want him to be there. So, I mean, that being said, I think if he'd had more game time, Okoro's not missed that many games. So, a Gumby's not had to play, really. So, maybe is a Gumby available at all? To be fair, his contract does expire with Wigan at the end, but I think we could probably do a bit better. Unless we could get him for free. Maybe if we got him for free, I would be tempted. But it would depend on what he wanted in wages too. Yeah, see, what we're going to have done here is, what are you talking about? You want £1.1 million for a player that doesn't have a contract with you in a month? Yeah, no, go away. That's so strange that Spurs were willing to let Shashua come for 50k with his contract being up and Wigan want 1.1 million. Okay, well, I guess you can keep him then, or he can go away. Maybe he'll put some pressure on. We might revisit that, I don't know. But that's definitely what I want. So a right back potentially and a right winger that can back up John Okoro. Those are my two current priorities in terms of positioning. So finally, the strikers. With strikers, this is a little bit interesting to me. Neil Brock, he's gone out on loan, hasn't he? That must be where he is. He's on loan at Tranmere, so we can kind of ignore him for now. Hanlon, Mensah, Ida and Thorpe are kind of the ones that actually matter. Mensah's not got much game time, but he's done all right, when he's played, to be fair to him. Goals per 90 minutes. Mensah's up there at the top, Hanlon up there too. Ida, 23 and 39 is pretty damn good. Chris Thorpe lagging massively behind on that one, in fairness to him. Assists per 90 minutes. Mensah also has an assist. Ida only has 4 assists this year. Thorpe actually does have the 2. So the thing is, the conclusion I'm going to come to, though, is Adam Ida is our best player. Like, it's undeniable. Chances created per 90 minutes. Mensah again, but Mensah does look like a guy that could definitely play as a solid backup to Ida next year if we were to lose him for any consistent period of time, Cross is not really that important. Pass completion, Brandon Hanlon of 83% is very, very high, but he has played often on the right wing as well. Thorpe holds the ball up nicely. Mensah's definitely slightly lower on that one. I assume that's because he doesn't have very good passing in comparison. Yeah, it's only 6. He's got the vision. He just can't always find the pass, unfortunately, which is a bit of a shame, which is why I presume, no key passes for him at all. Ida is dominating on that one. Shots on target, though. Mensah, 69% shots on target is very, very high, but again, it's not a large enough sample size. It's good to see Adam Ida, though, dominating on that one. Well, not dominating, but better than Chris Thorpe, that's for sure. And Hanlon, to be fair, he's done all right there. He does seem to shoot on target a bit less, though. Mensah has quite a few shots, but once again, it comes down to how many he's actually had. Headers won. He's not super tall, but he won a decent number of his headers as well. So I genuinely, in my brain, I'm thinking, dribbles per game as well. Mensah's actually got more than him, which is interesting. So just looking at this in terms of ability, Ida will obviously be our first choice striker next year, with absolutely no question. But I genuinely think that Eric Mensah could make a decent understudy to him. He's got a lot of potential. He's got a decent amount of ability already, and he's shown in games that he can do it, and maybe given the game time, he could be another John Okoro type. However, again, with the striker, I do want to keep looking for one, and maybe if we find an absolute superstar, we could bring him in, because we're going to have a decent amount of transfer funds, I think, this summer. So I might be able to be a bit more sparing with the sheer number of players I bring in. I might be able to use big money on 1 or 2 players to really strengthen us enough to make a proper go at it next year, rather than spending loads of little signings. I mean, we can maybe go for 2 or 3 big ones instead. Maybe break our transfer record, spend spend £1 million on someone if it has to happen. If you have to spend £1 million to bring in a fantastic championship fullback, then I will do. Same with the right wing, although I really do want to keep John Okoro in that position. I don't want to oust him because he's got that potential. So the one position where I would be wanting to spend moon money, potentially, would be that right back spot. Because that's the one area where I feel like we are very, very weak. Now, I've got 2 players on trial. One of them I said is an attacking midfielder, which would be nice, because then we'd have 3 solid players in that role if we get Shashua, and they'd all be permanent. And the other one is a left back, and he's a very good left back too. So that would mean that Nerfville would have good competition because this guy is better than Enabakare. I can't remember his name, but you'll see him potentially in the next episode because those 2 are about to sign contracts. So if we could get those guys signed up, that would be ideal too. So the extra bodies too. There'd be free transfers as well, which would give me lots of money to go after a right back. So honestly, I might look for a backup goalkeeper as well to Malden because Ian Murphy's contract is up and I don't really want to extend it. I might try and find a 5-star potential goalkeeper to play as Malden's understudy next year as well. So I'd like backups in the right wing and the goalkeeper spot. I want a first choice right back and maybe another striker too, just to give us a bit more options. That's what I'm thinking so far. Of course, let me know what you think. I know we're only like 35 minutes into this, but I said it was going to be a bit shorter because my voice is already starting to go. I can feel the burn. So, the word of the day, well, you know what the word of the day is going to be. It's going to be Strepsils, because there's a giant box of them on my desk next to some Benylin and some lidocaine throat spray, because it's been one of those weeks. Anyway, if you've enjoyed this, I know it's been a bit short. I do apologise for that. Do drop a like on the video. That would be awesome if you want me to keep doing it. And I will join you guys tomorrow for the transfer episode. Hopefully we'll have assembled a squad that I feel can take us to the Premier League. That's the hope anyway. I'll see you guys soon. Thanks so much for watching. Bye-bye.